Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're looking at a T16 spec for the Demon Hunter, which is the Bolas GoD. Now we're going to use the Gears of Dreadlands, which is the starting set for Season 22. We're going to make use of the 4th cube slot, and this is a very fast and easy way to farm keys. It's very lazy because it does suck enemies towards us. Makes a nice change from playing the Hungering Arrow Gears of Dreadlands, so maybe if you're speeding with that, maybe if you're pushing with that, then maybe you could swap and maybe do some T16s, maybe even some bounties with this, just to mix it up a little bit. Now this isn't as powerful as the Hungering Arrow, because obviously there is a reason we play Hungering Arrow, but it still does hit hard enough for T16, and in the background all the footage is 800 Paragon, albeit the gear pieces are probably fairly nice because it's PTR, so it's super easy to get gear. Before we jump in, anyone who's new, I would encourage you to subscribe if you're interested in Diablo 3, or at least consider it. We've got plenty more Season 22 guides on the way. Other than that, a thumbs up is always greatly appreciated on one of these videos, and let's jump in and take a look-see. Now the Gears of Dreadlands is, probably one of the best sets in the game. Take the 4th cube slot away, pound for pound, this is the best set for me in the whole shebang. What do we get with it? Well, on the 2-piece we gain 4 seconds of momentum every time we fire off a primary skill. So basically these stacks go up to 20 and they deplete 1 per second. Now we get a 10% damage bonus for each stack, so that's 200% damage. Now 4-piece we also get move speed off this, 8% per stack, so that's 160% move speed, so you can really see the move speed is pretty good. We're going to juice this up even further. We do get damage reduction, but we don't really care too much because it's a key build, so we're going to use Boon of the Hoarder, the Gold Wrap and the Avarice Band, pretty much as standard and always. And the 6-piece, nice and straightforward, primary skills gets 10,000%. Now also on the 4-piece, our last used primary skill is fired out, so it's juiced up by all the multipliers, and as we strafe around we automatically fire out Bolas, which is pretty good. Now in this 4th cube slot here, we can now work in the Leonine Bow of Hashir. This is great because Bolas will pull everything in within 25 yards, or 24 yards. That's quite a big radius. You do suck stuff towards you, and it is very satisfying to have the stuff kind of like, sucked into almost like a blender. It's really nice. So if you've ever played ZDH, it's very reminiscent of that, but actually you do tons of damage. And obviously because you group yourself, area damage is super effective for this. So, any kind of grouping is obviously beneficial for that. We're also going to take the duffel bag on the character. Bolas explode instantly and deal up to 175% damage. Now, the bow has to go here because we're also going to work in a Yang's recurve. The reason we do this is because of the last property there, which is resourced cost reduction, which rolls up to 50%, and that will basically mean that we've got tons of resource and we don't really have too much problems. Now we can still run out of discipline because we've got a few things that we're going to use for move speed, but it does come back pretty quickly because of the rune that we've got on Bolas. Now also we've got the Hunter's Wrath. This is obviously a staple of the GoD. Primary skills attack 30% faster and deal 200% extra damage. We're going to take a Depth Diggers on a character, again a double damage modifier for primary skills. Just make sure that you have Bolas damage on here, and Bolas damage also goes on your belt as well, which as we say is going to be the Gold Wrap. We have a Dawn in the cube to make up perma uptime on Vengeance, or at least pretty close. We've also got the Rogue obviously to make up the set bonuses. And then lastly, I think in terms of gear, we've got the Stone of Jordan. I've just picked this just to eke out a bit more damage. A Convention of Elements would work fine here. It just obviously would be quite spiky, so it would be huge damage on lightning and then nothing the rest of the way. Again, maybe with a bit more DPS, you could possibly put the Rogue on the character, and then you've got another free slot here, maybe for Flavor of Time, something like that. Now, amulet wise, you're going to see this in a lot of my T16 builds. Kimbo's gold. Its secondary affix will roll with up to 100% extra gold finds. Now, gold I'm finding is my bottleneck. I tend to run out of it. You can do puzzle ring runs, that's absolutely fine, particularly if you're grouping. It's a pretty easy way of getting gold, but I just like to find when I'm doing keys, when I'm doing bounties, it's just nice to get the gold, and then I can do more gem ups. Now, gem in the helm, I've gone for resource cost, again with a view to keeping this discipline figure pretty high so that we can use all of our wonderful movement abilities, which we will go through. But again, you could swap this out for cooldown if you're struggling on your Vengeance uptime. Or I did also play with an emerald in here, again with a view to getting some more gold, so totally up to you that one. Legendary gem wise, simplicity, strength will add a modifier to our primary skill. It gives us a heal, but we don't really care because we're pretty much immortal. We're going to take a Taeguk. I personally use this in T16 over the Bane of the Trapped because Juggernauts just are unaffected by this, so it is pretty nice. Now again, with some more Augs, or well, with Augs full stop and more Paragon, possibly Wreath of Lightning can go in one of these 2 specs, but it may well be that it's just simply quicker to clear with the 2 damaging gems. But again, that's something for you to play around with. Now, in terms of stats, you're probably going to use your push pieces for this, so you're going to have tons of area damage because that's kind of how the God DH rolls. That's wonderful news with the Bolas because obviously the Bow of Hashir will group stuff for us, so as I say, area damage will pretty much melt, and then it's generally cooldown. And other than that, you know, lightning on braces, lightning on amulet if you can get it, lightning on your Stone of Jordan. But one thing I would say about the Stone of Jordan is you just have to match the elements. So, you know, if you get a really baller cold one, something like that, then again, just provided you're matching your elements, it doesn't matter. So, you know, that's always something to bear in mind. Now, let's have a little look-see at the skills. Strafe, just Drifting Shadow. We just want to keep that move speed up, so 100% move speed. Bolas, Bitter Pill. The reason we've gone for this one is there is a chance, a 15% chance to get 2 Discipline. Obviously, it's super RNG, that's like 1 in 6 or something like that. It's easy to go a long time without proccing this, and it's also easy to get it to proc a couple of times in a row. Just RNG, but it does help us with the Discipline, which is nice because it means we can move faster. Vengeance. The rune on here really doesn't matter because we are immortal, but I guess Darkheart makes the most sense because that way if we don't have the gold wrap bonus up, this might stop us from proccing our cheat death. So, you know, again, totally up to you, but I think that's probably the way to go. Companion, Ferret Companion, this is here for move speed, and we can press this and kind of suck up the screen because it's got a really good pickup radius effect. Again, you can totally swap this out if you need a bit more damage. You can go for Wolf Companion. You know, again, another one that's fairly open. Shadow Power Gloom, we actually want Shadow Glide on this, so that's the wrong rune. I wonder if that was wrong in the footage. Maybe it was. So there you go, another 30% move speed that I've accidentally left off. But yeah, the idea is you press this button, 30% extra move speed, which is obviously pretty good. Smoke Screen Displacement, when we pop this we get 100% extra move speed for 1 second. Now this is where the Discipline kind of gets sucked to because you're going to activate this fairly frequently to get around the map, and obviously it does use a bit of resource, so that's why the resource cost gem does help out a bunch, and it's also where Butter Pill comes in. Tactical Advantage will give us another 60% move speed whenever we pop the Smoke Screen, which again pretty nice. Awareness, I tend to just leave this on because, you know, sometimes things get wrong, but if you're happy to play without cheat death, by all means take it off and swap it. Hot Pursuit, we get 20% move speed for 4 seconds after hitting something. And then Ambush, just to flatten stuff, you know, 40% additional damage above 75% health. You're hoping to one-shot stuff. So again, as I say, play around the passives if you'd like to. You know, none of it's set in stone, but that is pretty much the build, guys. As I say, it is a lot of fun. Hopefully the footage in the background has shown just how fast this can be, and it is a nice change. Now, I did say we were going to talk a little bit about the Hungering Arrow T16. I'm still working on this a little bit, but it'll be in a future video. The advantage that I see of the Hungering Arrow is because your modifier comes just from a satchel, rather than 2 pieces like on the Bolas, which is obviously the satchel and the bow and the cube. It just means that this spot here is a flex spot, so you know you can do Leorix as I'm trying to do here for extra gold, you could do Broken Crown for more gems, so this is probably a bit more of a flexible setup. But as I say, I don't know about you, but I do tend to get a little kind of bit of fatigue if I just play the same skill over and over again, so I thought, you know, we'll do Bolas, we'll see how it goes. That's the build, guys. I hope you like it. I'll be back with some more videos soon. PTI is nearly over. Really excited for the next season. I hope you're all staying safe. I'll be back just as soon as I can. Take it easy. Peace.